Hey, 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 guys. Welcome back to the show. You're listening to Hi Vibin' It with your host, Kelsey Aida, and your other host, Lynnsey Robinson.
Hey, guys.
Love. Hey. Sorry, I'm just like in it to win it. I'm like nailing this intro, and then you distracted me.
Oh, sorry.
So back to what I was talking about. Welcome, everyone. Lynnsey is an awesome hypnotherapist. I'm an inspirational blogger and author. And we're here to help you manifest your desires and live your best life, feel good, raise your vibes, all that jazz. And today we have a really fun topic. It's kind of a term, two terms that I will be coining right now. I made them up. It's called indirect manifesting versus direct manifesting. And we will get more into this in the show to explain what we mean by this, because it could definitely be interpreted in a couple different ways.
Yeah. And when I heard Kelsey say these terms, I was like, oh yeah, cool. Direct and indirect. Cause I know what I know it as. And then when she explained it, I was like, okay, well, we can explore all different facets of this gem in this show. So it'll be really interesting.
She was like, where did you learn these words? And I was like, I made them up
in my brain,
in my head.
That's too funny. Yeah. So we're going to have a lot of fun talking about that. A little bit of housekeeping first. I still have one spot left in my one-on-one program for 2019. So we have a couple months to get in there, get some rewiring, reprogramming to your subconscious with hypnosis. It's really fun, really relaxing, and really fast and effective. So get on my website, lynnseyrobinson.com/apply-now. We will put it in the description, but get on it. Also, we have a goal. Can we talk about our Patreon goal for a second?
Yeah.
Okay. So we were talking and we thought it would be so fun to create this Patreon goal. So when we get 50, we decided 50, right? 50 patrons, supporters, then Kelsey, because she travels everywhere, is going to buy a ticket, you guys, to come see me. And we are going to meet IRL and party and do all the really fun stuff that young ladies in Vegas do, but maybe not that crazy. That sounded really bad. Not that crazy.
That sounds legit, girl.
I sound like I'm so exciting, but we're probably just gonna like have tea.
Probably, yeah. What's gonna happen is Lynnsey and I have yet to meet in real life, even though we're best friends via the lovely internet. We met like 3 years ago?
Yeah. Well, in this life, we haven't met in real
this lifetime. Correct. So Lynnsey interviewed me for some online summit she was doing, and we totally hit it off. And so our relationship started with interviews, and now look at where we are, interviewing other people and each other, talking about high vibe stuff a couple years later. And now we're besties, but we still never met because we live really super far. So the idea is if we get enough people to join our Patreon, which is where you can get bonus content, extended episodes, watch the videos of all these episodes, then I'll buy a ticket and go visit Lynnsey in Vegas, and we'll blog about the whole thing, and we'll post it all on Patreon. And we'll probably do some extra episodes and good things for you guys when we're together.
Yeah. And I think if anyone's in the Vegas area and listens to the show, I think it'd be super fun to have a little greet.
Meet up.
It'd be so fun. Anyway, so go to patreon.com /high vibe and start getting the good stuff, because in each tier you get bonuses, and it's just really cool to be a part of this little community within a community and get exclusive stuff. I just think it's awesome. So go check it out.
Yeah. What else do we want people to check out and know about?
I want people to know about your retreat. So talk about that.
Oh my gosh, I want people to know about my retreat too. It's going to be so fun. So I'm planning a retreat in Mexico coming up in February 2020. And the focus is self-love. This is the first retreat I've ever hosted, which means we're going to start with a bang. And we have 12 spots. Right now, half of them are already filled. So we have around 6 spots left. And it's going to be 5 days, all-inclusive, fun in the sun, self-love, soothing your nervous system, shopping, going to dinner, hanging at the beach, pretty much all my favorite things. So
now I have to ask, because this would be on my checklist if I was going to a retreat on the beach, right? It's fairly close to the beach.
Yeah.
Are there going to be margaritas? Because I know you have a thing with alcohol. Rightly so. Rightly so.
I technically don't drink very often.
Mm-hmm.
I used to never drink at all. In the last year, I opened up to the idea of red wine every now and again. If I have more than like 2 drinks in 1 month, I'm like, whoa, Kelsey. Like,
Can I just
slow
take
down.
a pause and tell people how awesome it was to get the call from Kelsey? Because she's known for a while that I'm a red wine enjoyer, enthusiast. I don't drink all the time, especially now, but I like it. And so it's always been a thing for her. Like, I don't like it. I don't want to try it. And she called me one night and she was like, I tried red wine and I like it. And I got so happy because I felt like she's in the club and we can maybe have like wine dates together. But we haven't done that. We should do a show and have like a wine date during the show.
Oh my gosh, we should get
so entertaining.
And then do a show. Yes, that would be so good.
It would be our best show ever, or the worst.
Or the worst, yeah. But to answer your question, there will be margaritas. There will be drinking for those who choose to drink. Obviously, it's a self-love retreat, so probably most people will be health conscious, not wanting to drink a lot. But if you do choose to have a drink or two, you will be greeted with a margarita as soon as you show up to the house. I promise you that. That's like a thing that they do at this house that we're staying at. Guac and margaritas, first thing.
What?
Mm-hmm. It's the business.
That's so cool. You guys.
So, yeah, if you want to come and get treated like a queen for 5 days, hang out with me, learn how to love yourself in Mexico in February, then come to the retreat. Just go to kelseyaida.com/retreat. You add your name to the wait list, and then I'll reach out to you personally with some more details.
And I told Kelsey I wouldn't be able to attend because I get a little like shell shocked when she's like, hey, come to Mexico for like a 5-day retreat. It'd be so fun. I'm like, what? I have so many responsibilities. So I couldn't go to this one, but me and her have talked and we did promise that eventually it will be a thing. We will do like a high Vibin retreat. And that will be so fun. So I'm excited to enjoy my first retreat with Kelsey. You should be excited to go enjoy this retreat with Kelsey. Go to her website and check it out because I'm like super jealous over here.
It's going to be legit. I'm not going to lie. And the plans that I have for it and the curriculum that I have for it and the places we're going to go to eat. First of all, I vacationed in Vallarta many, many times. We're going to Puerto Vallarta, which is where they film Bachelor in Paradise. I know that it's a selling point for some people, so I just thought I'd mention it. We're going to the paradise of Bachelor in Paradise.
That's fun.
And yeah, I vacationed in Vallarta many, many times. It's really safe. A lot of people there speak English. It's like touristy enough where it's not like hard to get around or anything. And the Mexican peeps are great. Gotta love them. They're very, what's the word that I'm looking for? When they like cater to you. They're very catering. Very kind peeps.
I love it. And they're your peeps.
And they're my peeps because I have family in Mexico. So I am, yes, part Mexicana.
So go to my website, go to Kelsey's website, go to Patreon, do all the things.
In the description.
Do all the things. And you can't go wrong. Whatever you click is going to be amazing. So let's talk about
anything you click will make your life better, pretty much is what we're saying. Let's talk about manifesting.
Let's talk about it. So
I know that's why you're all here.
Yeah, manifesting is one of the biggest topics we talk about because it really does bleed into almost everything we talk about, whether it's self-empowerment, self-improvement, intentional action, whatever it is, manifesting is a part of it because your mind truly is the vehicle of which everything comes to you or gets repelled by you. So why don't we talk about direct manifesting, the first things first, because I know you have a special take on this. So what is direct manifesting to Kelsey?
Yeah, so let me give you my definition of both because they're both like one side of the coin. So indirect manifesting versus direct manifesting. I would say that the majority of us who are into manifesting are doing it what I would call indirectly, where you are trying to manifest an object, an outcome, an experience, a thing, things and stuff. You're trying to manifest something, whether it's a house or a relationship or a car or blah, 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 whatever. The reason why this is indirect is because the only reason why you ever desire anything is not always so you can attain that desire. It's more so because you think that by having or attaining that desire, that you will be able to finally feel a certain way that you think you can't feel without the desire. So that leads me to the definition of direct manifesting, which is if you're really after a feeling, if that's really what you want, then why don't you just focus on cultivating that feeling instead of trying to manifest the thing that's going to create the feeling? And the irony is, when you cultivate that feeling more, the desires that you had that match that feeling will inevitably come to you because you'll finally be an energetic match to them.
And that's basically going back to what we talk about every time. And it's such a cool new way to look at it, because you always want to follow the feeling. If you knew that you could have $1 million if you wanted it, but you also knew that you'd feel like crap every day, no one would ever want $1 million. The only reason you do is because you feel like it will give you that freedom word, right? That sense of relief where you don't have to worry about how your bills are going to get paid. You could take trips, you could buy the things, you could feel happy, you could maybe even get the relationship if that's what you're basing it on. But anything that you want is seemingly attainable by having this like mountain of money, but it really is always just a feeling. That is awesome. That's an awesome take on that. I like it.
And let's go with that example of money, let's say, because I know lots of people would like to manifest more money, and like rightfully so, money can make your life really enhanced and really awesome and take off some pressure in certain areas. And let's say you're trying to manifest whatever amount of money, and the real reason why you want it, this is going to be personal to you, so you have to do some soul searching. But let's say you want it so you can feel abundant, so you can feel like you have, I don't know, more free time, and so you can feel like you're not restricted. Those are the three main feelings. So instead of just going straight for the money, which there's nothing wrong with that, but that would be what I would call indirect manifesting, how can you start to cultivate the feeling of freedom, the feeling of abundance, and what was the other thing that I said?
I don't know. I'm thinking prosperity.
Oh, whatever. Let's just say whatever the feelings were that you wanted. How can you start to cultivate them now? So, example, a great way to start feeling more abundant is to make a gratitude list of all the abundance that you already have in your life, all the people who love you, the safe home that you live in, the great job that you might have, whatever it is, there's a way to feel abundant now in this now moment without having all that money. There's a way for you to feel more free. Let's say for me, dancing makes me feel really free. So if I dance more, I activate my freedom more, and that can help me to manifest more abundance because that's one of the reasons why I want it. You know, so it's about getting creative and going straight to what you actually want, as opposed to being so physically focused and obsessed with all the things and the stuff.
As somebody who loves plans being laid out, I like the idea of like, as you said, like, what is it? What do I want really? What will money get me? And then list all the feeling words, because that's really what it comes down to. I would feel this, this, this. And then where in my life now could I get those feelings? I really like that. So for me, when you say abundance, where do I have abundance now? I have an abundance of food in my fridge, and that is an amazing thing because, you know, food is great. I have an abundance of love in this house. I have an abundance of plants, which I love. There's always places, always. And it might seem like these mundane day-to-day things that you don't always think about, but the second you remember how amazing that is, you're just going to call more of that into your life.
Yeah, that's a really great way to do it. This is actually, I believe this is one of the lessons in my manifesting masterclass, which is tailored for beginners. So if you're like a beginner for manifesting, it's good. But there's a whole lesson in there that's all about like discovering the actual feelings that you're after. So you can just go straight for those, start cultivating those, and then eventually the manifestation will come, but it will be different because you won't need it. You won't be so attached to the outcome, and that in and of itself is going to give you so much freedom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like imagine if you could live your life without trying to control and manipulate everything all the time, even if you're only doing it energetically, you know, you're like trying to manifest the shit out of your life so everything goes your way. Like that's not exactly how it works.
Yeah.
That will keep you running towards what you think will make your life better and running away from what you think will make your life worse. And either way, you'll always be running in one direction or the other, and you'll never be fully in the present, and you'll never be fully satisfied.
Yeah. There's that saying that it's like, you're never going to get it done. You're never going to finish. So stop trying. which is a great, but I mean, like, it's so great because we're constantly looking for the finish line. We're constantly looking for, once I get here, I can finally relax. Once I get here, I can finally be happy. Once I get here, I won't have to worry. But it's like, you're never going to get there, because once you get to that finish line, another one's it's a carrot and a stick. There's always going to be something better. So you might as well just figure out a way to enjoy where you are now, because what were we talking about before the show? Where you are now is exactly where you're supposed to be. There's no other alternative. If you were above or below where you are right now, it would be wrong. So embrace where you are this very second and learn how to like create more of those and cultivate more of those feelings as you go forward, and call in more good stuff.
Yep.
Right?
And speaking about cultivating feelings, we are really excited to introduce you to our new sponsor, BetterHelp, because this is a way for you to connect with a therapist online, and you can either work through your feelings of, let's say, depression or anxiety, or if you need support in some area of your life, or you can use your therapist to help you cultivate whatever feelings you really are after. And I can definitely say that having a therapist in your life is one of the best tools you can have in your back pocket. I personally do see a therapist, so I'm just going to say that out loud on this show so everybody knows that there's no stigma. It doesn't make you less of a person. It actually makes you really smart for having a team that's holding you up and helping you work through stuff.
Yeah. So if you guys have thought about talking to somebody but are unsure of like where to start, BetterHelp, that's HELP, makes it easy to connect with a licensed professional counselor, caring professionals specializing in the issues that you want to talk about. So join BetterHelp and get better at your own time and your own pace. Schedule a secure video and phone sessions or text your therapist worldwide, and you can start communicating in under 24 hours. That's so fast. It's a really affordable option, and you guys as High Vibin listeners get 10% off your first month with discount code Vibin. As always, that's VIBIN. If you've been wanting to talk to somebody, you can get started right now. So go to betterhelp.com/VIBIN and fill out the questionnaire to get matched with a counselor you'll love. Once again, that's betterhelp, HELP.com/Vibin. We will be right back after this break to talk more about direct and indirect manifesting. See you then.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's Kelsey Aida here, and this portion of the show is brought to you by Native. Native creates safe, simple, and effective products that people use in the bathroom every day. They create products with trusted ingredients and trusted performance. Not convinced? Just check out their 9,000 five-star reviews from all their customers. Lynnsey and I really love Native because they make deodorant that is formulated without aluminum, which is awesome. Most of the ingredients for all of their stuff, I believe they make toothpaste, deodorant, body wash. What was the other thing that they have? We both use their deodorant. They make all kinds of stuff. But everything is like formulated with nature, using nature with nature in mind. They never test on animals, which is really important to me. And they have free shipping and returns, which is
in the US.
In the US.
Yeah, I know they have like tons of scents. I got lavender and rose. I think Kelsey got eucalyptus and mint. They also have coconut vanilla and cucumber mint. And the coolest thing about this product is that it freaking works. I've tried so many aluminum deodorants before, and this one is like really, really, really good.
And it doesn't even have aluminum, and it works better than all the ones that do.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant. Non-aluminum. I've tried all the aluminum free because I've, nursing mom, don't really want to use that stuff. And I think it's important to look for natural alternatives. And this is a winner here. So if you guys want to try it, you get 20% off your first purchase by listening to the show and being a High Vibin listener. So go to nativedeodorant.com and use the promo code Vibin, VIBIN, during checkout, and you guys can get 20% off your order. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, if you need new deodorant, use the eucalyptus mint because it smells so good. And
she will not stop talking about how good it smells.
My deodorant all day long. Not on my body, but I smell the tube, and I'm like, man, I really wish that there was a candle that smells like this because it's so yummy. So go to nativedeodorant.com for 20% off your first purchase and use the promo code Vibin.
Okay, so back to the show. What do you, is there anything else that you want to cover with this direct manifesting? Because I know there's a lot to like. When I hear direct manifesting, I think of go for the thing that you want versus indirect manifesting, where it's like you're accidentally manifesting things like the same relationship over and over, or, you know, like the things you actually don't want or don't actually have a intentional, you know, in call to bring into your life. So those things that kind of your energy is putting out, but you don't know that your energy is putting out. Do you know what I'm saying? Am I making any sense?
You're talking a lot and you're making some sense.
I'm so good at talking a lot and just weaving a little bit of sense in there. So let me explain. The energy we put out brings stuff in to our life, whether we want it to or not. So as always, we always say, why not use that intention and just bring in what you actually do want? So when I hear indirect manifesting rather, I'm thinking of the unconscious energy that we're putting out to the universe, and just whatever comes in is responding to the energy that we're putting out, whether or not we are intentional about it. Indirect manifesting. Do you know what I'm saying now?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would call that accidental manifestation at its finest, which I actually wrote an article about this a long time ago, and it's a really funny article because I talk about how I was with this basketball player at the time, and I was like thinking that I wanted them to lose because I was tired of watching. I know I'm like a terrible person, and they were going into overtime or something, and I was like, oh, this is so lame, like let's go home, like whatever. And then they actually did lose, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that was my fault, so sorry everyone. And
Now,
in the article I talk about like how not to manifest unwanted things. And really the key is to just become more conscious of your energy, of your thoughts, of your intentions, of how powerful you are.
which is always a good idea. So when I do manifestation hypnosis, it's really just about fine-tuning that energetic wave that you're putting out, and fine-tuning what kinds of energy you're putting out, and discovering and peeling back the layers of what is kind of happening without your knowledge. So I love talking about really being conscious and really being intentional with what kind of energy you're putting out and what you're bringing into your life, because I know a lot of situations where we're kind of in this cycle and we can't really figure out how to get out of it. But it's just about knowing where the energy's kind of derailed a little bit or gone off track and bringing it right back in to alignment.
Well, and the beauty of the law of attraction is that that's exactly its purpose. If you don't know what's going on inside of you, just look at your life. Your life is reflecting back to you exactly what's going on inside.
That sounded so harsh, but I totally am on board. Look at your life, lady.
Look at your life. Your life is showing you exactly what's going on inside of you. It's a direct reflection, and that's actually the true purpose of the law of attraction. We utilize the law of attraction and take advantage of it to manifest the things that we want because we're aware of how it works. Yeah. But the reason why it's there is not so you can have everything that you want. That's one benefit of it. The reason why it's there is to show you what's going on. If you don't like what's going on, you have the power to change it. That's the beauty.
It's the good news and the bad news, because some people see that and they're like, oh, so this is all my fault. But that is not how we want you to take it.
It's not your fault. It's just because of where you're at. But it's not your fault because you didn't know better. But now that you're listening to us, you know. So you're welcome.
Now that you have this inspirational whatever every Monday.
That was like a love punch. That was like kind of brutal. I'm sorry guys for the brutality and the honesty coming through today, but I'm just in this like vibe.
If you ask any of my clients, I'm really good at a love punch. It's like I'll say things and I'll be like, I can say this to you because I know you already know this, but it wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't like just drive it on home, you know? So we're good at love punches. We're also very supportive in your path and honoring those at each individual progression in life, because everybody has their own walk. And
let's give an example.
So I was actually going to ask you a question. Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
And then we can use whatever example you want. But I want to ask you, when was the last time you noticed your energy was not necessarily manifesting the things you wanted, and what did you do about it?
Okay. Yeah. So I have this belief. I realized that I have this belief that it's impossible for me to get my emotional needs met from other people, because I'm someone who requires a lot of emotional intimacy, a lot of one-on-one presence. Quality time is my love language, whether this be in a romantic partnership or just a friendship, any type of relationship. And this has manifested in many of my relationships. I feel like people can't be there for me the way I would like for them to be. So the first thing that's been helping me to turn this around is just realizing it's not necessarily true that it's impossible for people to meet my emotional needs. Like, I'm actually not that needy of a person. And for me to know what my needs are makes me even less needy, because I can just directly be like, hey, this is what I need. Like, can you give this to me? Are you willing to give this to me? What do you need? Can I give this to you? Am I willing to give this to you? So for me to be aware of what I need and aware that there are people out there who could potentially support those needs was a big shift for me.
Do you find yourself slipping back sometimes and then, you have to right the ship again? Like, because I know a lot of limiting beliefs, or what I would call emotional blockages or limiting beliefs, do kind of creep up, even though we've done the work. If it's deep, 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 then it will kind of like seep back in. And then we have to kind of train ourselves to rewire that part of us. So have you noticed it coming back up, and what do you do about it if it does?
Yeah, I definitely still get triggered from time to time. If somebody doesn't show up for me in a way that I thought they were going to, or I expected them to, or I wanted them to, I will definitely have a moment where like, nobody's there for me. I have no emotional support. I'm the only person who can support me in the way I need to be supported. And I have like a pity party for like however many minutes. I'll cry if I need to cry. And then I'm like, okay, so is it actually true that nobody has ever supported my emotional needs? No. Is it actually true that it's impossible for people to support my emotional needs? No. So I usually question the thoughts, and I'm like, okay, this isn't really the truth of all truths. It's just one perspective from my woundedness that keeps coming up, because in the past, some people didn't show up the way I wanted them to, or I needed them to. Actually, it wasn't just a want. It was like what I needed.
Well, and it's interesting too, because to get all like woo and spiritual, which we always do, when we did the past life together, when I took you through it, or you took me through it rather, that was a theme, is almost like abandonment or feeling that way. And so it's interesting that now it's kind of showing up still, or more, or as well, kind of thing.
Yeah, and I believe it's something that's showing up to be brought to my attention. And then now that I've learned this, a lot of the reason I feel that people haven't been able to support me in the past is because I couldn't do that for myself. So something I've been focusing on is self-love. And that's why I'm so passionate about it. And that's why I'm hosting a retreat. Like, how can I hold space for myself? How can I give myself the presence that I want other people to give me? How can I hold space for myself when I'm crying and having heavy emotions? How can I give myself the emotional intimacy that I crave so much from others? And that will teach other people how to treat me. And it will make me a match to people who can treat me more so the way that I treat myself.
Yeah. And this is always true. Some of the best ways to heal your stuff is to help someone else heal theirs. Right? So like by working on self-love with others, you're kind of healing that part of you little by little too. It's the same with hypnosis. I'll work with somebody who's mirroring me, like to the point where I feel so vulnerable, but I'm, don't say anything, but they'll bring up their stuff and I'll be like, oh my gosh, do they know? Do they know me? Like, what's happening? But it's so true that like, as we work through what's happening for them, I find that it's very therapeutic for myself as well.
Yeah, we teach what we need to learn. And I want everyone to know that like, we're not perfect. The reason why we're so good at these things is because we used to be so bad at them. Like it's the both extremes. Like the contrast is what made us good. And we teach what we need to learn. And I know I create Instagram posts and Instagram stories and articles and videos on YouTube. And I say things on here that I totally need to hear myself. And then the next day I'll have a breakdown and then I'll be like, well, what did I just teach yesterday? Oh yeah, it was exactly what I'm going through right now. So like, we're on the journey with you guys,
Yeah. We would be bad humans if we didn't share the lessons we learned so that you could maybe potentially avoid some stuff.
Yeah. It's funny because I feel like if it's a really important lesson for you to learn the hard way, like you're going to learn it the hard way no matter what. Like we really can't save you from yourself, which sucks. Like I wish I could, but I can't. But at the same time, like, we do like to think that we can help make your journey a little bit easier once we feel like we've learned some beneficial perspectives or some helpful ways to live that have really improved our lives. Like, what else am I going to do with the rest of my life aside from share things that make mine better? Like, I can't even think of anything else I would be doing with my time because I love teaching.
Yeah. I go back to this every time, but like when we found out we were going to be doing a podcast and we saw it on iTunes, in the first week I was like, Kelsey, we're on iTunes. I never thought I'd be on iTunes. And what did you say?
I was like, well, I was going to say a bad word. I didn't actually say a bad word in real life. I'm
No,
just
you didn't.
sassy today.
You
but
are
I was
sassy.
like, I did. Like, I always thought I would have a podcast.
Without skipping a beat, she goes, oh, I always knew I was going to be on iTunes. And I was like, well, I'm so happy I was able to help you manifest this. It's just, you know, it's a learning curve for me because I'm not, I don't know. It's weird. Like, I enjoy being on video. I enjoy getting interviews, but I don't like attention necessarily. But I'm also like wanting more because that's how my business is going to grow. So it's a fight with me. I think that's probably my biggest challenge is like trying to be comfortable.
Well, it's because you have different
truth.
parts of you that want different things. One part of you wants to be seen to grow your business, but the shy part of you is like, don't see me. So that's where you're creating a resistance to manifest what you want.
Don't see me. I have bad hair today. I didn't do my makeup, so I can't do a live, which I've been getting better at, by the way. I just did a live in my group the other day, and I was like happy with it before, during, and after, where normally I'm just only happy after. So I'm getting better. I'm working.
Proud of you.
At it.
Putting yourself out there.
Kelsey's great at putting herself out there. It's like one of her best strengths.
That's because I love being the center of attention. And I don't even have shame about that anymore because all the work I've done with my friend James around it.
Good.
He's like, is one of your needs for attention? And I'm like, yeah, it is. That's probably why I was training my whole life to be a prima ballerina. And then when that didn't pan out, now here I am as this influencer, you know? I love it.
With a lot of good stuff to say. We already got our explicit badge for this episode, right? So I'm just going to say a lot of good shit to say.
Boom, Lynnsey said a bad word.
I think it took us like 16 minutes to get you to swear. I think it always happens like within the first segment. So
that's funny.
Yeah. Anyway, so indirect. Let's talk about indirect. What were you going to say?
Nothing. I was just going to say exactly what you just said.
Connected.
I was going to reel it back in.
Indirect manifesting, following the feeling. We do have to take a break in a second, but I want to, touch on it a little bit. And then when we come back, we'll just dive deeper. So indirect manifesting, one more time, in Kelsey's dictionary, means what?
Means being super physically focused on things and stuff instead of directly manifesting the feelings that you actually desire.
It's so funny. It's just brilliant because direct manifesting, most people be like, oh, it's the thing. And then indirect is the feeling. But you're like, no, that's the lie. The lie is that that directly we're supposed to be, following the thing, and then the feelings will come. But that's the lie. And then the truth is the feeling is the first thing you want to follow. So indirect manifesting, following the thing. What are some things that you have indirectly manifested by your definition? We've all done it. Let's just put it out there.
Relationships, like romantic partnerships specifically, my last 2, I deliberately was like, I need a relationship right now, and it's going to look like this, this, and this. And then it did. Like, I manifested both of them, like, no problem, easy peasy. I didn't even have to leave my house to meet my last ex-boyfriend, which is like hilarious because that just goes to show how magnetic you can be. But yeah, I would say relationships. At one point I was really set on manifesting a Tesla because I really like Tesla cars. I think they're beautiful and amazing.
Me too.
And what else? I'm always manifesting stuff. New clients at the salon because I do hair part-time. There's a lot of things and stuff that I like and I desire and I want more of. And it's not wrong, to have these desires for physical things or certain experiences or the house or the car or the fun stuff, But lately I've just been like, that's kind of silly because we get so stuck on the thing when all we need to do is change ourselves, change our mood, change our thoughts, change our feelings, change our emotional state.
Yeah. And I think that if you're I'm not going to lie, on my vision board, I have my dream house and it's perfect exactly where it is. But with that, I've never just tried to manifest the thing. It's always been the thing and the feeling. Make sure if you're not connecting the feeling to whatever that is, it's not really going to pan out for you necessarily, or it's going to take a really long time. So anchoring in that feeling of whatever it is and following that is always going to get you there 10 times faster and 10 times better than you think it's ever going to be. So it's not, like you said, it's not a bad thing to manifest this stuff, but you can't manifest this stuff without having the feeling attached to it. You just can't.
Yeah, and here's a practical example that people will probably relate to. So I am what some people would label as a hopeless romantic. I love watching soap operas. I love reading Twilight over and over because I'm a teenager who's obsessed with vampires. I love love and the idea of it all. And so I'm always like, my partnership, like I'm going to manifest the fuck out of this relationship, you know?
It's just, you know what it is? It's the force you put behind the F that always gets me every time.
Okay. And so anyway, so I do that and it's all fine and dandy and it all works out. But nowadays I'm shifting my focus to what do I want from said partnership and how can I just cultivate more of that in my life now? Like I really want connection. Okay, I have friends and family that I can connect with. I really want quality time. I have friends and family and people who love me who want to spend quality time with me. And also, let's not forget about myself. I'm practicing giving all of these things to myself. Like I said earlier, like how can I spend more time with myself? Not alone, with myself. It's like me and myself.
Quality time.
Together, you know?
Yes.
And then, so it's about shifting the focus. You don't have to give up your desire. Just put less focus on it because you don't need to be so needy about the things and the stuff. I mean, how else can I say it?
Stop being needy, guys.
That's definitely a chapter in my book, Why the Law of Attraction Works for Some People, but not you. If you're too desperate and too needy, you're in a state of desperation. You're just going to manifest more things to feel desperate about, and you're just going to manifest more neediness. Like you're like, if I need love, then you're just going to keep manifesting people leaving you and you feeling like you need love. You're not going to manifest love by needing it.
Desperation and neediness is a great thing to get into when we come back from the break on the other side of it, because it's something we all feel. We will be right back with sage advice from Kelsey on how to avoid it. Be right back. Welcome back. We want to talk about neediness and desperation when it comes to manifesting. But first, this portion of the show is brought to you by the makers of BarkBox, and it is Super Chewer, which is a monthly subscription box launched 2 years ago to cater to active dogs. And it's an interactive toy subscription box for active dogs that play harder. So get your dog the monthly delivery of 2 tough toys, 2 full-size bags of treats, and 2 meaty chews. Durability doesn't have to be boring. Super Chewer's in-house toy designers create all-natural rubber and nylon toys that are interactive adventures for your dog. Puzzles, treat lock systems, pool toys, fetch flinging toys, and more. Each month celebrates a different surprise theme and play style with tips and tricks to make playtime even better. All treats and chews are made in the USA and allergy-friendly. They have allergy-friendly options for pups with dietary restrictions. You guys will get free shipping for life inside the contiguous 48 states. And I believe they also ship to Canada as well. Super Chewer is a $45 value, but plans start as low as $29 a month. So celebrate your dog and the relationship you share with Super Chewer. Play harder together. We have a code, don't we?
Yeah, we sure do. Hi Vibin listeners get 50% off their first Super Chewer box when they visit superchewer.com/Vibin and subscribe to a 6 or 12-month plan. Plus, like Lynnsey said, you get free shipping for life in the contiguous 48 states. Also, this would make a great Christmas present for your puppy. So if you're one of those puppy moms or puppy dads that likes to spoil your pup, then definitely get Super Chewer.
Yeah, it's really, really good, you guys. So, desperation.
Desperation and neediness. Okay, let's talk about
no
this.
way to segue.
So what I said during the commercial break, which the Patreon people will see because they get all the behind the scenes, but everyone else will not, and it needs to be shared. So the universe does not find neediness that cute. So if you're needy and desperate, the universe is like, that's not that cute.
Not cute.
Like
it's thirsty.
think of yourself in a type of relationship with the universe. Let's say the universe is your friend. If you're like, friend, I need you, I need this, blah, blah, blah.
Do this
the
for
friend
me,
is
do
going
this
to be
for
like,
me.
ugh, so much pressure. I don't like how this feels. So, I mean, just think of the universe as a person. The universe is not ridiculous, you know?
But also a wise and loving person that loves you no matter what, of course. But so if it's about matching your energy, yeah. You want to match your energy with all loving and trusting and faith and all that good stuff.
And the $1 million question is now, how can we become less needy or less desperate if we're in that state of neediness and desperation? Because if you're in that state, you know, you couldn't help getting there. You're just there. So now it's like, okay, what do I do now to change my state? And I feel like the thing that's helped me the most is figure out what you actually need and then figure out how to get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you need to get your needs met, whether that's through yourself or through other people or asking for support or having a therapist or whatever it is. Like, get your needs met, be your own parent to your inner child, put yourself first. And then when you're getting your needs met in a really conscious way, you don't feel needy in an unconscious way.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Does that make sense?
It absolutely does. Getting your needs met as soon as possible, whatever that may be. And it will take some searching and it will take some turning inward and really being open to finding the answers there and, you know, not to be afraid or judgmental of what comes up. Because a lot of people try to stuff that ish down.
Don't judge your needs.
You
I used to judge
can't.
myself for needing a lot of attention. Now I'm just like, you know, it is what it is. And this is how I'm getting it met. This is one of the ways that I get it met.
And usually when I feel like I'm frustrated with how long something's taking, and those are big, heavy, sarcastic quotes, by the way, how long something's taking, or if it's not on my timeline or how I had envisioned or planned it, I start to feel a little needy. I start to feel a little desperate. And it really helps me to get back to the basics of, like, as you said, what is it that I want? And for me, a good way to get back into that excitement, because that's what you want to do. You want to turn it from the desperation, neediness, back to the joy, the freedom, the excitement, the good feelings that made you want it in the first place. And, you know, I just do a quick visualization with either the goal fulfillment, what it looks like when I actually do have it, and it really absorbing and immersing myself in those feelings, or my future self already has this. What advice does she have for me? And it takes 5 seconds, and it's so more, it's really heartening to know that your future self is, like, usually what she is doing is thanking me for not giving up. She's encouraging me. She's like, you know, you can do this, don't give up. It's almost like a big sister in a way. And I know her really well because it's me. So I know what she's going to say. But anyone can do this. And it takes like 5 minutes. Just close your eyes and just get back to what feels good about the thing that you want.
You can literally change your state and the way you're approaching manifesting something in a moment. So watch this. Listen to the difference. Feel the difference in these two statements. I really wish I had a partner that loved me and adored me and had fun with me. Versus, wouldn't it be so awesome if I had a partner who loved me, adored me, and loved spending time with me? Like, those two sentences are basically the same shit, but with way different vibrations supporting them. And you can shift from one or the other just by being aware of what.
My favorite one is, I cannot wait. I'm so excited to have the house of my dreams. I'm so happy. I'll be so happy I'll be so happy, but I'm so happy that this is in my future, or I'm so excited that this is going to happen. And almost like there's like no way that it's not going to happen for you. The best stuff happens for me when I have this deep knowing deep down inside that there's no other avenue I could go down, and that this path that I'm on right here, right now is the best one for me. And I have no doubts. It's not often. Now, let me be clear. There are times I'm nervous about things I want to manifest because of the humanness and the, you know, anticipation of it. But there's some really awesome stuff that's come into my life when you can't really explain it. It's just like, no, yeah, this is happening. This is definitely happening. And so you want to get as close to that as you possibly can. Like, I'm so excited that this is in my future. I'm so excited that my future self is encouraging me. And it's going to be so awesome when I have, like you said, that person in my life that shares my beliefs, my love, my life, everything. My kids maybe someday, Kelsey. I don't know.
Well, I'm definitely having kids, at least 2. I already saw them. I've seen them
Hey,
many times.
that's
in
right.
different
That's
visions.
right. Let's talk about that for a second. Can I ask you a
My
question?
future kids? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So remind me, is it a girl and a boy?
I believe, well, I could be wrong, because usually when I use my psychic insights on my own life, they're clouded by what I would like to happen. But I think that the first child I have will be a boy, and he's going to be the more reserved, intellectual, really brainy type, but like really sweet and gentle personality. And then a few years later, his little sister will come out, and she's going to be a crazy, wild thing. And she's also going to have like magical abilities, and apparently I'm the one who's supposed to help her to come into those early on in life instead of waiting till she's 25 like I did.
Still, 25 is not bad, girl, but
that's true. I still have the rest of my life.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. One of the most challenging things is parenting the you out of your kid. Because there's so many things I see of myself and my kid, and I'm like, wow, I can't be mad at it because that's me. I absolutely saw my first boy before he was born. I knew exactly what he was going to look like, and I have no doubt that I manifested him, like exactly to a T what he looks like.
Did you manifest him, or did he manifest you and you just psychically picked up on the person who manifested you as their mom?
Here's what I'll say. Well, because according to my beliefs of spirituality, children always choose their parents every single time. I chose my parents based on lessons I needed to learn, yada, yada, yada. But I will say, I didn't necessarily manifest him, but I feel like I manifested how he looks, because all I kept thinking during my pregnancy, my husband's a very olive tone, dark haired individual. He's Hispanic, and my kid, especially my first boy, should not look the way he looks. But I was selfishly thinking, my first boy, my first kid, I said to the universe multiple times, all of the kids can have, because you think that the dark hair and the olive skin is dominant. I do. I mean, it's just like a scientific fact or something. I don't know, science. But I was like, all the rest of the kids can look like him. Just give me one that is light skinned, like me, because I somehow knew he was going to be a boy, and I was like, maybe I won't get a girl, but at least let him look like me with my hair color and that kind of thing. And he definitely came out with my features and blue eyes, which I don't have blue eyes, but it was one of those things that like I just feel when he was born and I looked at him, I was like, oh my gosh, look what I did. And I think I took it too far, because now all my other kids have brown hair, but they do tan really well. They have their dad's skin, which is
you're like
so
my
freaking beautiful
creation.
My creation, haha. But yeah, taking the motherness to a whole new level. But yeah, they're just so beautiful. Anyway,
and something that I want to say about your desires that is important that we really drive this home is that if you have a genuine desire, whatever that may be for yourself, it's meant to be yours, and you're the only person who can claim it. Yeah. So you don't need to doubt whether or not it will happen or come for you. That's when those little demonic voices get in the back of your head, and they're like, it'll never happen. You're not worthy of this.
Yeah.
That is so unreasonable. Everyone else can have it except for you. Blah, blah, blah. Like those.
I don't like that voice.
Not the truth. Yeah, you don't like it because it's not real. It's not the truth. The truth is, if you have a genuine desire, it's meant to be yours. So own it as such. You can be lax about the timeline. You can be lax about the how, but never waver in the desire that you have to feel a certain way, to experience a certain experience. Like, you're entitled to your own desires. They're your desires for you to experience. Period.
And I don't know about you guys, but I'm super inspired to like just meditate now on my manifestations and like everything I want to bring in to my life, all the enhancements, because my life's pretty awesome right now, as every single person listening to this has an awesome life because of the things, if you break it down, are awesome. But if you want to enhance it, bring in more things, I'm super inspired to do that today. For
I
sure.
like meditating on a feeling. So
Yeah.
if I realize that I want something because I want to feel happy, then I just am like, okay, for 10 minutes, I'm just going to feel happy. And I just smile and I just feel happy for 10
Fun
minutes.
fact, just seriously though, fun fact, just by smiling and using the muscles to smile, you're tricking your brain into releasing the same chemicals as happiness and a real smile would. So that is a great piece of advice. Do it, do it, do it. Do we have any like housekeeping things to close? Because we have like less than a minute.
No, just join my retreat if you want to be a badass, super self-lover, and get on Lynnsey's calls if you want to be a super hypnosis.
And help us get to 50 patrons, because I really want to meet Kelsey, and there's no other way to do it.
We're depending on you guys. Okay, so we'll be back with more life hacks every week on Mondays. So we'll see you guys later, and we love you, and thanks for being here. And as always, feel free to connect with us on Instagram. That's where we're most active. I'm at Kelsey Aida. Lynnsey is at Lynnsey Robinson, and you can see our spellings in the show. And yeah, we love you guys. Have a great life.
Have a great week and a great life. Talk to you next week. Bye.